Hey, folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we return to the warning with an appearance, looks like it was at Gama Music. I'm not absolutely certain of that, but it is on their YouTube channel. That is a music store based in Monterrey. I think they have a few, actually, but there is one right there in their hometown. And it looks like in March of 2021, they were there and got a pro shot multicam video out of the deal, and they're playing Psychotic off of Queen of the Murder Scene. So I'd never heard of this one before. I mean, I know the song, of course, but I've never heard of this performance. And it sounds like it's going to be pretty high quality. So I thought it'd be fun to take a look. So, Adrian, you remember the song Psychotic, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That little cheerleader cry.
Yeah, essentially.
P.S.Y.C.H.O.T.I.C, I am.
Hey, hey, hey. And they couldn't explain the hey, hey, heys, but they left them anyway. And that's pretty cool, actually. I think that was a solid move. Okay, why don't we go ahead and take a look at this, and we will discuss afterwards.
That I'm out of my mind, that it's just gonna
I almost wonder if that was the studio track. I'm thinking I'm going to have to go check that just to see. But it was an incredible performance if it wasn't. And even so, it was pretty cool. They always perform these things live regardless. What would you think, Adrian?
Well, when Paul looks at the camera in this video, it looks almost sinister.
Yeah, she does
has the
that.
most expressive eyes in this video. You can see the madness of Paul in the moment, you know?
Like, you know, I don't know. She's really good at it. You're right. It's one of those. It's like, uh-oh, don't look away. It could be danger involved. It's great. I love it.
And just you can hear each instrument just distinctly. It all comes through nice and loud.
It's great rock and roll, and it really, really rocks hard. But I also just love that they have a sense of humor, and you can also feel that in the performances, in what they do. Like what you just described Pow doing is also funny. And I think it was probably meant that way too, you know, just to be a little bit camp. And I could just feel it, you know, you can feel it in Danny's performances and everything. I mean, the humor is also a part of it. Let me play a little bit of that song from the record. No, it's not. It's not the same. It's not the song off the record. So that may very well have been a live performance, which is what they usually do. But that was just so good sounding. I had to think about it for a moment there. I think they just had the regular backing tracks that they have, you know, for little details here and there, you know, like the ha ha ha, ha and the other stuff like that. But yeah, I that probably was live. Yeah, cool. Okay. Well, I'm glad to have stumbled on that. I just happened to find that while combing through. I just did an interview over on Modern Rock Talk of The Warning over at Gama Music in 2019. They were answering questions about Queen of the Murder Scene, which they actually were performing the entire album around the press conference. They stopped in the middle of the concert to have the press conference, you know? Which actually might have been a good way to conserve energy. Some people mentioned, oh, you know, they weren't playing really long concerts yet at that point, so they probably just needed the break, you know, because it is a 2-record set. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out. I'm going to put it in the cards here too, so you can look under the description here. You'll see the link. But that was so much fun. I'm glad I ran across that. Folks, if you have seen that before, why don't you let me know about it and under what circumstance? And if you can tell me anything more about it, because it's actually labeled The Warning and You Can Play. So as if you can play, the letter U can play. So it sounds like a series of some type, and maybe they featured other bands too. I could look into that. But if you have details on that, let me know, and maybe you give me a head start. But in the meantime, if you have other suggestions for us, especially anything like this kind of hidden treasure, let us know. Anything pro-shot especially would be wonderful to know about. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. All right. Thanks so much for joining us on this, and we will catch you on the next one. All right. Take care, folks.
See you all later.